In Unity, you might already know that you can append this field bit to a serialized field attribute above a property to show it in the inspector. However, this only works for auto properties, and this fills me with great sadness. What's actually going on is that for auto properties, C# creates a field in the background, and this is what Unity is actually serializing for the inspector. But wouldn't it be cool if we could actually serialize a property like this? Then we'd have a code block we could use for all sorts of stuff, like validation, as a value changed event handler, to forward changes elsewhere, or whatever else you can think of. Of course, Unity can't directly serialize properties, but by using a bit of reflection, we can actually accomplish this ourselves with surprising ease. To get started, create a script titled SyncedPropertyAttribute. Inherit from property attribute, create a string field for a property name, and set it in the constructor. Next, create an editor block with a custom property drawer, and override the onGUI method with the usual setup. At the top, cast the attribute to our type and retrieve the property name, then pass it to the getProperty method using the target object's type and reference. Let's also add some binding flags and store a Boolean representing whether our reflection was successful and that the property is valid, so that we can be a little nicer to our users. Since this is based on the property, the first thing we should do is retrieve the value from the property. Unity's property attributes come baked with field info already, so we can just call fieldinfo.setValue using propertyinfo.getValue. Now, if we detect a change from the editor, we can set the property value using the same strategy in reverse. We just have to make sure to apply modified properties before calling this, otherwise the field info won't be updated. Believe it or not, that's it. Let's now add the attribute to our field, reference the property, and throw some logic in to see that it's working. Another cool thing we can do with this is to have our properties be static. So let's set up a static property using player prefs in this case. Then add the static binding flag in our property drawer. I also want to mention that when using this, our field should logically always be private and coupled with a serialized field attribute, so we can treat the property as all there is. For me personally, this has been a really useful and versatile attribute, and I hope you feel the same about it. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment if you have any questions, improvements, or suggestions for me, and I'll see you in the next one.